Fairfield, number 4, B.J. Forbes. Hitting 12th, extra hitter, number 12, Gunnar Hostetler. And rounding out the Bremen lineup, batting 13th, extra hitter, number 6, Will Stiles. Good luck to both squads.
Get your lineup cards.
There they are. They must have made some changes already, because I've noticed that the kid wearing pads is not. Coach, I assume you've already made changes. That's okay, I caught it.
Pitching will be, first pitcher will be Cody Zarnicki.
So Cody is on the mound.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Did you run? All right, welcome to Rochester for game number 4 of the day. It's going to be game number, what are we at? Game 10 for the tournament here.
Hey, what time is it, Kyle?
And sorry, running a little bit late here, but we're getting everything set up, getting ready to go. It's going to be Bremen taking on the Fairfield blue team. You all set there?
Yeah, getting close.
All right, so I'll get to, oh, we got it all in there. Everything's there. All right. Stoltzfus takes ball 1 to the inside. Steve Stricker here with Matt Freeman back with you here today. And Matt's finishing up the lineups here. For some reason, I had it in my head, Matt, that this was a 3:30 start.
Oh.
I had everything wrote down 3 o'clock, but I don't know. So anyway, we're rolling, ready to go. Just getting underway here from Rochester. Have to do a quick battery change here, it looks like. We're getting low on some juice for the mics. Stoltzfus sends one. It's a good stop there by the shortstop. Play over to first, just not in time. So Stoltzfus is going to reach on the shot to short. So Fairfield on leadoff man on deck here. It's going to bring up number 5, Eli Miller. We saw these guys play last night. It was the Fairfield Blue taking on their Fairfield Gold team, and I think everything about this Fairfield Blue team is very impressive.
Definitely.
This is gold?
This is gold? Oh, well, they changed jerseys on us.
Okay. Well, we got it wrote down wrong.
Okay.
They had blue up here. So this is the gold team. All right. I thought that Stoltzfus name was familiar, but I've seen both of them now. So let's restart this. So Fairfield Gold. So we're down in the losers bracket. That's right. Okay, that makes more sense now. So if I'd show up on time, we'd have this all taken care of before I got here. Yeah. So I'm going to pop up here and change that. So it's Fairfield Gold wearing blue taking on Bremen. At least they told us in the first inning.
Yes.
That'd be embarrassing if we went through the whole game and then found that out. All right, 3-1 to Miller. Stoltzfus on first. Takes strike 2, full count now. Payoff pitch out, or just a little high, so Miller's going to walk. Moves Stoltzfus over to second. Brings up Braden Yoder, I believe. So Stoltzfus got a single.
Okay. I'll let you assume the duties on that.
All right.
I think my hand's spent for today.
Right.
So we got Yoder up to bat, and he's got an 0-1 count on him. Showed bunt early in that. Showing bunt again. Got a ball on that call, though. Still showing bunt. He gets one towards the third base, and they get it out at third and gets a single for Yoder.
That's a nice play by the third baseman, Martin, right there. He smart enough to realize he had time, threw it back over, got the force at third.
Yeah. Number 00, Keegan Miller, is up to bat. 19, Donovan Mast is on deck. Runners on first and second with one out. Ball's outside.
Can you see that bracket real quick?
Oh, and the batter's down, and looks like he got hit by the pitch down by the feet. So bases are going to be loaded now with Donovan Mast up to bat, number 19. Batting. Next is going to be 27, Hunter Kaufman. Going to be on deck. Another inside pitch, and that one's wild, and it looks like Fairfield's sending them, and they can't get the play at home, and the other one's coming in from third, and that's 2 runs scored, and they're going to hold up the third one coming in at third base. So Bremen just makes a mistake there at the home plate on the throw to the pitcher to try to get the out and end up with 2 runs on the board for Fairfield. Strike over the plate. That's going to be 2 strikes on Mast. Correction, that's going to be 1-1 on Mast. That's a line drive on the ground towards the shortstop, but he bobbles it, and there's a run scored, and Mast gets a single. That's going to bring up Kaufman, number 27. Number 18, Braden Kirkendorfer, is going to be on deck.
Mast reaches on an air.
So real quick, Fairfield scores 3. Ball outside.
All right, Fairfield giving Bremen some struggles here early on. Still in the top of the first. We got 3 runs across for Fairfield. Only 1 out here for Bremen.
So Zarnecki's struggling here at this bat with Kaufman. Counts 3-0. That's going to walk the batter, Kaufman, and Mass is going to advance over to second.
Kaufman walks with 1 out, puts runners on first and second. Brings up number 18.
Braden Kirkendorfer, number 18, is up the bat. Number 26, Grady Garber, is on deck. So it looks like Bremen's going to have a conversation out on the mound.
Zarnecki struggling a little bit getting going here. Bremen advanced. The winner of this game, I didn't get the bottom of the bracket. Bremen defeated North Miami to advance to this game. Fairfield Gold lost to Fairfield Blue last night, dropping them down into this bracket. We saw earlier on Caston defeated Pioneer. West Central and Caston then played. West Central defeated Caston, so they move on. They're going to play tomorrow at 11. West Central will play the loser of game 12, which is coming up later on tonight with Fairfield Blue and North Judson. So this is the first of the 3 games for us here, Matt. We've got Rochester and Plymouth coming up.
Yeah, looking forward to that game.
That ought to be a great game. Fairfield Blue and North Judson. I've heard some things about North Judson, so that should be a good game too. So a couple pretty good games coming up for us here.
Definitely. So Zarnecki's still struggling at the mound. That's going to walk Kirkendorfer, and that's going to load the bases again. And Grady Garber, number 26, is up to bat. And Matthew Sin, number 6, is on deck. And it looks like they're going to be pulling Zarnecki out of the pitcher's mound.
So with the bases loaded and only 1 out here in the top of the first, they're going to be a pitching change for Bremen. They're going to bring in number 11.
Pitching change for the Bremen Lions.
Leidig.
Number 11, Silas Leidig.
Silas Leidig is going to be the new pitcher. So Zarnecki only able to get 1 out here as we start with 3 runs across. And Leidig's going to take over with the bases loaded. So we'll see what he can do. Bremen's got to try and find a way to get out of this inning here without too much more damage. Fairfield Gold looking pretty good. They did have that hiccup last night against their blue team, but that Fairfield blue team very impressive.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna challenge some people here this weekend. So we've got Garber getting ready to go for Fairfield.
Yeah, Garber's one to watch. We've liked watching him play these last couple of nights. That's a swing and a miss for Garber, though. way high, but Garber swings, and there's a runner coming in from third, and he's safe.
Oof.
Looks like the pitcher didn't get there quite in time. He dropped the tag way too late. The runner's foot was already on the plate when he tagged him.
On the wild pitch.
Well, I tell you what, Mast's foot was on by about a toenail when he finally stopped. He didn't get on there by much, but that's all you have.
That one's in the dirt. So we've got runners on 2 and 3, and the count's 1 and 2. Garber puts one into right field, and he gets a single on that and brings in a run and advances a runner to third.
Garber with an RBI single. Brings in 1 run, leaves runners on the corners with 1 out.
That's going to bring up Matthew Sen, number 6, and Braxton Abbs, number 44, will be on deck. He's still into second.
Garber to second.
Still only 1 out, but the score is 5-0 Fairfield Gold. Ball outside. Catcher loses control of it. Swing and a miss from Sen. Counts 2-1. Swing and a miss again. And Sen gets a hold of that one right to the shortstop. And the shortstop makes a wild throw to first base, and that's going to bring in a run. And the ball's going to be dead, and that's going to bring in 2 runs, actually, because the runner had advanced to third and was on his way home. So the score is all of a sudden 7-0, Fairfield Gold. So Braxton Abbs, number 44, is up to bat. And then they'll be back to the start of the lineup with number 17 on deck, Garrett Stoltzfus. 1 of those account. Strike. Strike again for Abbs. Counts 1 and 2. That one's in the dirt. Runner's going to advance from second to third on the steal.
Send to third on a wild pitch.
So Abbs got a full count now with 1 out and a runner on third. Abbs gets a hold of it. It goes out to right field, and it hits the ground in front of the fielder, and that's going to bring in a run and a single for Abbs. That's going to bring us back to the top of the lineup with Stoltzfus and number 5, Eli Miller, on deck. Foul ball.
Please return that foul ball to concession for a free slush. Thank you. Yeah, I was just 16 after 3 or 2.5. It'll be 3 here.
But do they do 10 limit per inning?
Oh.
Like 10 you did 10.
Foul ball again. Counts 1 and 2 now for Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus gets a hold of that one, puts a high popper into center field, and it drops between the fielders, and he's going to get a double on that one. And advancing Abs to third, and the runners hold.
Abs had to hold up because of the pop fly with only 1 out. In other words, he probably would have easily scored.
Oh, easily, yeah. I thought for sure Bremen would have had that one, but it looks like they just miscommunicated out there. So that's going to bring up Miller to bat. So that's Eli Miller, number 5, up the bat, and Bruce Yoder, number 40, is on deck. Ball 2. Counts 2-0. Leidig looks pretty good. They throw to third to get the out, but overthrow, and second advances in, so there's 2 more runs scored, and that's going to end the inning with the 10-run rule in the inning. So on a 10-run rule in the first inning, Fairfield Gold is looking pretty good.
10 runs on 4 hits, 4 errors committed by Bremen after a half inning.
Yeah.
In that half inning, Fairfield Gold with 10 runs on 4 hits, 4 errors committed by Bremen. After a half inning, scores 10-0.
All right, so we are through 1/2 inning here in Rochester, and Fairfield Gold takes a commanding 10-0 lead over Bremen. We'll come back here, see what Bremen can do in the bottom half of the first. Looks like it's going to be Green, Martin, and Leidig up to bat for Bremen. They got a big hole to dig out of as we move into the bottom half. So we'll be right back. You're watching RTC4.com's coverage of the 12U Town and Country Championship semi-states here in Rochester.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here. Looks like Stoltzfus is going to be the pitcher for Fairfield Gold as we start off the bottom half of the first. Bremen has Green, Martin, and Leidig up. Bottom of the first here, and Bremen's trailing 10-0.
3 screen.
Green gets a hold of it right up the middle through the second baseman. Gets a single out of that.
Green with a single to lead off.
It's going to bring up Caden Martin,
Now batting.
number 14. Silas Leidig will be on deck, number 11. They get a hold of that to the second baseman, gets the out at 2, gets a single out of that hit. They tried to turn 2, but just wasn't quick enough.
Green out at second.
So that's going to bring up Silas Leidig.
Silas Leidig.
Number 13, A.J. Ton, is on deck. Strike on the outside for Stoltzfus. Leidig gets a piece of it, but it goes foul. 0-2's the count. Still only one out for Fairfield. And that's strike 3 for Leidig. So 2 outs real quick for Fairfield. It's going to bring up A.J. Ton. On deck is going to be Camden Hickman, number 2.
Please return that foul ball to the concession stand for a free slush or a soft drink. Thank you.
Ton's going to foul that one into the bleachers on that. 0-1's the count. A little low. Counts 1-1. Ton hits that one right at the pitcher, and that goes all the way out to the center field, and he's going to get a single on that and advance the runner to second. So it's going to bring up Hickman. And Andrew Ginther, number 1, is on deck.
Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Brings up number 2, Camden Hickman.
Big hit to center field, and the center field grabs it and makes a huge play diving in the grass. And that's going to strand 2 runners for Bremen and a quick 3rd out to bring us into the 2nd inning.
Bremen got 2 hits, no runs.
So 2 hits, no runs for Bremen, and 1 complete. Fairfield holds on to their 10-0 lead. So for the bottom half or the top half of the 2nd, it's going to be Miller, Yoder, and Miller coming up here for Fairfield Gold. So 1 inning complete here at Rochester with game number 10 between Fairfield Gold and Bremen. We'll take a break, come right back here in just a moment on RTC4.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout north central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank, online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here. We're getting set to go for the top of the 2nd. Bremen with a new pitcher on for the 2nd inning. It's going to be Hostetler. Taking over on the mound, it took Zarnecki and Leidig. Well, they didn't actually get out of the 1st inning. They gave up 10 runs.
Pitching change for the Bremen Lions. Now on the mound, number 12, Gunnar Hostetler.
So we'll see what Hostetler can do here with this Bremen or this Fairfield Gold lineup. It's going to be Miller, Yoder, and Miller. Eli Miller, the number 2 hitter. Saw him make a tremendous catch there to get the 3rd out of the 1st for Fairfield out there in center field.
Yeah, he dove in the grass for that one. I like seeing that. It's a good hustle.
Somehow Bremen's got to figure out a way to get Fairfield out of this inning quickly.
Well, Hostetler played against West Central the other night when we called that game, and he threw a pretty good first couple innings. But Bremen likes to change their pitchers out frequently, so we'll see if he can get in the groove quick and hopefully get Bremen some quick outs.
Leading off, number 5, Eli Miller.
So Eli Miller at the bat after making that big play in the outfield. Let's see if he's ready to make a big play with the bat. And he bunts it right to the pitcher. The pitcher gets it, and he gets the out at first. That's pretty close.
Eli Miller bunts to the pitcher for the first out. Brings up the batter.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Bruce Yoder.
It's going to bring Bruce Yoder, number 40, up. And 00 Keegan Miller will be on deck. Counts 1-0 on Yoder. Two-0 for Yoder. Swing and a miss. Counts 2-1 now. Gets a piece of it, but it goes foul. So that's going to even up the count, 2-2. And he swings for strike 3 on Yoder. It's going to bring up 2 outs. And Keegan Miller, 00, is up to bat with Donovan Mass, number 19, on deck.
Well, so far, Hostetler doing a great job for Bremen.
Definitely, and that's going to put a strike on Miller there, swinging high. High and inside. Caught him on the outside corner, even up the count, or sorry, counts 1 and 2, 2 outs. Miller gets a hold of that right to the shortstop.
Oh, dropped it.
Made a nice play in the dirt, but just couldn't get the throw off.
Looked like, I mean, he had that in his mitt. He had that caught and just rolled out in the last second. Great effort there at short.
Definitely. He stopped it from going in the outfield, which was good for, good play on his part. Donovan Mass pop fly up to the first baseman, and he's going to grab that. So that's 3 for Bremen, and they end that inning quickly. So good for Bremen to slow the bleeding down a little bit.
Mass fouls out to the first base.
Bremen gets out of that with no runs across for Fairfield. So when we come back, it's going to be bottom half of the second inning. It's going to be Ginther, Zarnecki, and Shoemaker for Bremen. They still got a long way to go here to try and get back in this one, but a nice start right there, holding Fairfield scoreless in the top of the second. We're going to take a break. Come back here with more from Rochester on RTC4.com in just a moment.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Shepherd's Chevrolet Buick in Rochester treats you like family. Shepherd's offers a wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles to fit your budget. Stop out for your test drive today, online at shepherdsrochester.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here to Rochester. We're getting set to go for the bottom half of the second inning. It's going to be Bremen, and it's going to be Ginther, Zarnecki, and Shoemaker up to bat, trying to cut into a 10-0 Fairfield Gold lead.
Bremen's going to have to do something, score quickly here, going into 4 innings. If they're still up 10-0, that could be the end of the game for Bremen. So they've got 2 innings left to get some points on the board.
The winner of this game moves on and plays tomorrow at 9 a.m. And the loser, they go home. They're done. So if Bremen wants to keep playing here, they're going to have to make a huge rally over the next couple innings.
All right, counts 2-1. Make that 2-2 with a big swing and a miss by Ginther. So we got Cody Zarnecki, number 3, on deck. Counts 2-2. Ball inside. That's going to make the count a full count. And I'm betting Bremen's wanting a break right here. Oh, and he swung and misses. Ginther swung at that one, but it didn't look like he really wanted it.
Down on strikes for the first out. Brings up number 3, Cody Zarnecki.
So Cody Zarnecki's up the bat with Jeffrey Schmucker, number 5, on deck. That's a easy single if he can make it, but pitcher makes the play at first and gets the out. So that's 2 quick outs for Bremen.
Brings up number 5, Jeffrey Schmucker.
So Jeffrey Schmucker, number 5, is up the bat with Brady Weldy, number 10, on deck. Strike 1. Gets a piece of that one, but it goes foul behind the catcher. So he's already against the wall with an 0-2 count for Schmucker. That one's just a bit outside. And Schmucker gets a hold of that, goes grounder to the shortstop, and he throws it to first over his head, and that's a single for Schmucker. So Schmucker gets to first and advances on the overthrow.
2 outs, runner on second, brings up the batter, number 10, Brady Weldy.
So Brady Weldy, number 10, is on the bat, and Brady Erickson, number 9, is on deck. So Bremen caught a break there on that play. Let's see if Erickson can advance some collateral here. Ball outside. Counts 1-1 with 2 outs. Still 10-0 Fairfield. Soltzfus puts one inside and gets him on a 1-2. And that's going to retire Bremen to the side with a scoreless inning again.
Bremen leaves one on. No runs across in the bottom of the second. So after 2 full innings of play here in Rochester, Fairfield leads 10-0. It's going to be Kaufman, Kirkendorfer, and Garber coming up here for Fairfield Gold as we move into the third. Take a quick break. Come back here in just a moment.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Blue Dragon Taekwondo. Whether you want to learn self-defense, physical cross-training, or looking to compete in national tournaments, Blue Dragon Taekwondo is the area's leading martial arts authority. Online at tkdbluedragon.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back. We're getting set to go here. Top of the third, it's going to be Fairfield Gold up to bat. And on the mound for Bremen once again here is Hostetler. He made it through pretty clean in the second. So they're going to ride him for another inning. Hopefully see if he can repeat what he did there in the second. They did a nice job holding Fairfield Gold scoreless in that second inning, but unfortunately for Bremen, they haven't been able to plate any runs yet.
No, and I think this is a good move by the coach to keep Hostetler in for pitching because he did so well in that last inning. And if Bremen wants a chance, they got to hold him scoreless here again and then at least score at the next bat. If not, that's going to be the end of it for Bremen.
Again, thank you for everybody who participated. There you go. Leading off for Fairfield.
So we got Kaufman, number 27, up to bat with number 18, Braden Kirkendorfer, on deck. Hostetler stares down his target and delivers, swing and a miss.
Well, good start to the inning, kind of taking over where he left off in the second. So.
Oh, high and inside, right at the batter's head, but he ducks under it, and so Hostetler's got a 1-1 count on him. That's a line drive out the left field, and it's all the way to the wall, and he's going to get a double on that, and they're still struggling to get it in from the outfield. Nice slide there by Kaufman.
He's laughing about that. He tried to slide and kind of rolled into the second, but great hit by Kaufman.
Definitely. So that's going to bring 18, Braden Kirkendorfer up to bat, and number 26, Grady Garber on deck. So Fairfield starting out strong in this third inning with no outs and already a man on second. That's a hit down the third baseline, but it's going to roll foul.
We have a winner this afternoon's 50-50. An unnamed grandma from Fairfield takes home $17. Thank you. Good job, Josh.
Kirkendorfer fouls off again towards first this time, with 2 strikes against him and no balls. Kirkendorfer's going to have to climb out of this hole here. The ball outside. It's going to be his first ball. So we're going to see who wins this battle, either Hostetler or Kirkendorfer. 2-2 is the count. Hostetler looks steady as a rock out there, even though he's got a man on second. High and inside, so that's going to load up the count with a full count, 3-2. And he's going to hit that one, a high popper over the first baseman into right field, and he's going to get a single on that and advance a runner from second to third. So nice hit by Kirkendorfer for the single. That's going to bring up Garber, number 26, with Matthew Sin, number 6, on deck. Garber reaches for that one. They try to make a play at second base to get the runner out on the steal, but there's no chance of that. And then they try to make a quick throw over to third and still can't get the runner. So no outs on those two plays. Garber's an 0-1 count. And he's reaching again for an 0-2 count. Hostetler seems to be handling the pressure pretty well out there at pitcher. Not really fazed by the runners much. And that's a high popper right to the second base. And the runners hold on their positions. So that's going to be one out for Bremen.
Garber pops out to the second baseman for the first out. Runners on second and third, one out.
So that's going to bring up Matthew Sen, number 6, to bat. Number 44, Braxton Abbs, on deck with 2 men on, second and third. Score is still 10-0 Fairfield in the third inning. Strike one for Sen. Hostetler's looking like nothing's really phasing him out there. He's throwing some good pitches, keeping it in the infield, relying on his defense to make the plays. It's good teamwork out there. That one's in the dirt and it's getting away, but it's going to hold the runner back on third. Sen reaches on that one and gets a foul up in the bleachers. So the count still remains 1-2 with 1 out. He gets a hold of that one. That's still in the bleachers again for another foul. So Sen's really wanting to get a hold of this one, but he's just a little behind it every time. Count remains 1-2 with 1 out. Nice hit into right field, but the fielder doesn't get under it. It looked like his feet were planted, and he drives in a run, and then here comes another one, and he gets a double out of that. So a big slam by Sen out in the right field, and Bremen just didn't quite look like they were ready for that one. So Braxton Abbs, who reached on a single last time he was up to bat, is up to bat now with Garrett Stoltzfus, the top of the lineup, on deck. in the dirt, and the runner's going to advance from second to third on the steal. And he rounds it, and he's looking, but he's not going to run. So the count's 2-0. And Bremen's in a hole, 12-0 in the third. Another pitch outside for Hostetler. So that's going to make the count 3-0. So Abs just sits on that one and gets a strike called on him. So it counts 3-1. Strike on the inside corner. So it's going to make it a full count for Abs. Hostetler, I'm sure, is looking to get this strikeout. And he walks him. Putting runners on first and third. And that brings us to the top of the lineup with Garrett Stoltzfus. Number 5, Eli Miller, is on deck. And Abs is going to steal the second.
Abs takes second.
Counts 1-1. Ball high, 2-1's the count on Stoltzfus. Strike down the middle. So Hostetler's looking over to the dugout. He's looking a little tired maybe. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe a malfunction with the equipment for the catcher. High pop fly. Catcher's getting underneath it, and he makes the play for the second out. Good play, good heads up play by the catcher there. So number 5, Eli Miller, is up to bat with number 40, Bruce Yoder, on deck. Caught him on the outside corner. Swing and a miss by Miller. 2 strikes on Miller. Well, the bats were hot in the first inning on Fairfield Gold, but since then, we've only had a couple of hits. But they're still in a huge lead here. Going to make the count 2-2. Got 2 outs and scores 12-0 Fairfield Gold. Ball on the outside. It's going to make the count, full count. And the batter gets hit by that pitch. And that's going to load the bases. So Bruce Yoder's up the bat, number 40, with 0-0 Keegan Miller on deck. And
2 outs brings up
looks like Bremen's going to
Bruce Yoder.
come out and have a talk with the pitcher and make a pitching change. So we got number 2 Hickman coming in for the pitcher.
Pitching change for the Lions. Now on the mound, number 2, Camden Hickman.
So Hostetler pitches 1 2/3 innings, gives up 2 runs to Fairfield. That's going to bring in Hickman. See if he can get Fairfield out of the 3rd. Fairfield leads 12-0. We have coverage going on as well on RTC4.com over in Akron, where the 10U is playing. You can get that on Facebook, or you can get that on RTC4.com or YouTube. Gonna pop over there and see what's going on real quick while they're doing the pitch and change for us.
So it looks like Hickman's ready to go. And we've got Yoder up to bat. 0-0 Keegan Miller on deck. There's 2 outs in the inning, 3rd inning. 12-0 still, Fairfield. That's going to be a strike on Yoder. Bases are loaded. Ball in the dirt. Hickman doesn't look too anxious to get back over there to cover home. Counts 2-1. Do you have an update for us, Steve, on Akron?
No, I kind of lost my way there for a second.
Okay. Wild pitch, and Hickman charges to home to cover the plate. It's going to make the count 3-1.
Looks like it's Whitco and Northwood playing right now. Northwood leading Whitco by a score of 4-2. Whitco's up in the top of the 2nd.
Well, interesting turn of events here. Hickman's going to walk that runner, or the batter, and drive in a run on that walk. So that's going to bring the score 13-0 for Fairfield. Keegan Miller is the batter, and number 19, Donovan Mast, is on deck.
Yeah, that's what them bats are, is the east, the colored ones. Like yellowish or orange. Or yellow. East and go, yeah. He might have, I've actually, you're right, most of the kids have seen it. Next year, what's the legal bat? What do you think this is? USA.
Bremen's back out at the mound having a talk with the pitcher again. But they're going to stick with Hickman still. Counts 0-1. And that's a ball high. Ball inside, and Hickman's struggling here. Miller wants a piece of that one, but he goes foul. Well, that Fairfield dugout's really fired up. And Keegan Miller's going to get the walk and drive in another run on the walk.
Keegan Miller walks, forcing in a run. Brings up
Donovan Mast up to bat. Number 27, Hunter Kaufman, is on deck. One and O's the count. Mass gets one right up the middle to the second baseman, and it goes all the way out to the fence, and that's going to bring in 2 runs and 3 runs, and it's going to be, oh, he got him at third on the triple. Looks like he might have forced that one. But he scored 3 runs, putting a deficit for Bremen at 17-0 in the 3rd inning.
Fairfield 17, Bremen 0.
Bremen's got a long climb, Steve.
All right, so after 2.5, Fairfield with a 17-0 lead over Bremen. Coming up for Bremen in the bottom half of the 3rd. It's going to be Erickson, and then Green and Martin coming up. Lions 17-0. They have to get something going here. I believe 16 after 3, correct?
Yeah.
So if they cannot get at least 2 runs here in the bottom half of the 3rd, we may have a quick ending to this game. So we're going to take a quick break. Come back here for the bottom half of the 3rd, and in just a moment on RTC4.com. All right, Brady Erickson at the plate. Left-handed batter here for Bremen. They got to try and get a couple runs on the board here in the bottom half of the 3rd, or they're going to go home early.
Yeah, and Erickson starts it off with a strike. And it's a high popper out into center field, and the center fielder gets under and makes an easy catch.
Erickson flies out to the center fielder for the first out.
I don't know if that ball was drifting or what, but he kind of put his glove up right in center and ended up almost in the left field before he caught the ball. But he got the catch, made the out.
Brings up Green to the bat, number 7. Swing and a miss. Sorry, that's not green. That's Forbes in for green. No, sorry. I'm on the wrong part here. Forbes with. Are we at the bottom of the lineup there, Steve?
Yeah, BJ Forbes. Yep.
And then we've got Hostetler up next. Okay. So Hostetler, number 12, is on deck.
Gosh, I should have known you'd have known, buddy. I'm dumb for not asking. You do? I don't keep up with basketball anymore. I know.
So it counts 3-1 for Forbes. And that's going to give him the walk there, and Stoltzfus walks him to first base, so that puts a runner on for Bremen. And Hostetler's up to bat. Still scoreless in this inning for Bremen. See if Hostetler can get something going. Hostetler hits a grounder to the shortstop. Shortstop throws it second, gets the out, and that's going to be 2 outs for Bremen. Single for Hostetler. Number 6, Will Stiles, is up. That's going to be the bottom of the lineup, and Reese Green will be at the top of the lineup, number 7 on deck. Stoltzfus has really pitched a steady game today for Fairfield.
Yeah, not too much going on there. He's been able to keep the bases fairly clean. And, you know, when you keep the bases clean, it takes the pressure off for sure. Plus, when your offense is playing the way they are right now,
Yep.
that makes a huge difference. Stoltzfus, number 17 on the mound. He has a 17 on the board behind him with the runs that Fairfield has scored.
That's strike 3. That's going to end the ball game real quick.
Yeah, so Bremen can't get on the board, and they're going to get mercy ruled by a score of 17-0.
Fairfield Gold will move on to play tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. They will play the loser of our next game, Rochester versus Plymouth.
So Fairfield Gold will play at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and they're going to play the loser of the game coming up next between Rochester and Plymouth. We got 2 more coming up for you tonight. It's going to be Rochester and Plymouth, and then Fairfield Blue taking on North Judson. So a couple more should be pretty good games coming up. But for game number 1 of our coverage today, game number 10 of the tournament's coverage, Fairfield Gold advances, defeating Bremen 17-0. So Bremen's tournament is done. Fairfield moves on. They'll play at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be back here shortly when the next game is ready to roll. Should be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to watching our boys play against Plymouth, which Plymouth looked really good last night.
Yep, they did. Looked really good. We got to cover that last night. So Plymouth and Rochester coming up here shortly. So we'll be back with more coverage for game number 11 here in just a few on RTC4.com.